Welcome to Fly on the Wall. This week and next week, Marquita and I are bringing you a two-parter. So this week, we'll share the first part of our episode talking about love in the Rona. And next week, we'll present the second part of that conversation. We hope you enjoy. Welcome to Fly on the Wall. We are your hosts. I am Jonathan Matthias Lassiter.
And I am Marquita Moulton.
So, who the hell are we?
I am a spiritually focused healer with a master's degree in clinical mental health and a penchant for herbalism and all things having to do with fortifying the Black spirit.
That's right. Fortify the Black spirit. That's what we.
Yes, absolutely.
And I am a licensed clinical psychologist, professor, and award-winning author.
Okay.
I mean, you know how we do things.
Okay, it is what it is.
So, what we talking about today, Keita?
Well, thanks to some input from my mama, we're talking about relationships and dating in the midst of the Rona.
Oh, child. Well, you know, it's been hard out here for a lot of folks even before the Rona, and the Rona.
Myself included.
Exactly. You and the number.
Absolutely, yeah. I know firsthand. Okay.
And the Rona has exacerbated things for folks. So, with that said, so I personally, am in the LTR, so I don't have those problems that some of you girls have. But as a parent, I mean, Sean got a man out. But, as a therapist, I've definitely been hearing my clients talk about having a partner and now being quarantined and working in the same household and how they're getting on each other's nerves. So I think maybe we could talk about both sides of that coin. So the folks that's, out here, that's looking in the Rona, and the folks that try not to kill their partner in the Rona.
And also people who have had to quarantine separately from their partner. And the effect that that's had on their relationships and what they're doing to combat the distance, basically.
All right, so we can talk about all of the above. Okay. This one's new.
Yes, it's cute. I like the leather detail.
Thank you. I love my onesies.
Okay.
But, okay, so let's start with the folks that are looking for love in the Rona. So what's been so you have personal experience, but I'm wondering if you had any clients, friends also dealing with that, and what that's been like for you and what you've been hearing from other folks.
Well, I mean, if I'm being completely honest, I have not been looking for love in the Rona.
Okay.
I have been minding my own Black business. Okay. But I have, some family members who have still been on the apps and stuff like that. I hate dating apps. I find them very annoying, but to some degree necessary because that's just the state that we're in right now, right? But what I've heard is basically the Rona has created an opportunity, or at least what I perceive to be an opportunity, because there isn't the immediate ability to connect on a physical level, which a lot of the apps tend to promote, or at least there's an implied hookup type of scenario that happens based on finding people on apps. So from what I've heard, it's really put people in a position to get to know each other first, which
imagine that.
Imagine that. Such a foreign concept, right? So I personally think it's wonderful. having to actually talk to each other before you're able to meet physically so that you get a better feel for who that person is, um, and what they have to offer conversationally, because it's easy to meet physically with somebody. It's easy to have sex with somebody and then allow it to just be that.
Mm-hmm.
But actually getting to the meat of an individual and knowing who they are, what they have to offer, I think it provides a bigger platform for a longer term relationship. So I think it's great that people have been quarantined and those who are looking have the opportunity to actually get to know each other on a deeper level before meeting.
I like that. Yeah, I like that too. That's sort of like a positive outcome of the Rona, if you
Yeah,
will. Is that people are not able to meet immediately and have that physical connection. So there's more of an imperative to having that emotional or at least intellectual connection.
right.
Yeah, that's good. So I have a home girl who will remain nameless, but it's a mutual home girl.
I was about to say, I know who it is.
Uh,
Yes.
but she's been thought the bopping in the Rona. And I'm like, girl, you don't care nothing about your health. And
Well, to be fair, to be
go be
fair.
fair, be fair.
No, to be fair, she has been thought about it since we met her. So it's not like she's developed a new habit. It's
Right.
just
So it's
she's
nothing
still being herself. That's basically it.
Listen, and we not thought and bopping shaming because before people
Oh no. If
thought
that's
and
your thing,
bopping
that's
shaming.
your thing.
Right, listen, because I had a little break in my LTR and I did my own thought and bopping, and so we not shaming it. But
Right.
however, what I will say is that I have been concerned because I know some people are thoughting and bopping with newbies,
Yeah.
in Rona, and so I'm like, well, how do you navigate that and your well-being, your physical well-being, because you could literally get a debilitating virus, and
Right.
um, so yeah, so I don't know, like our mutual homegirl has not told me how they deal with it. Um, but I think that's an interesting phenomenon too that I've also seen is that some people are like focusing on that emotional connection, and some people are still, you know, you know, prioritize.
Operating as if Corona is not here. Basically. Well,
So
I would imagine that there would be some type of discussion about diseases in
right,
general, right?
you would hope.
Yes, I would hope. And so, if that's the case, then hopefully that has continued, and then Corona can just be included, or
Right.
at least the symptoms of Corona can be discussed, and then they can go from there and decide if they feel safe enough to meet one another.
I like that. I like that a lot. So I'm developing a mental list of like little tips in my head. So the first one is if we're gonna go the route of taking prioritizing the emotional connection first, then
Hmm.
maybe that first tip is to really allow yourself to be open in that process
Hmm.
of the emotional connection. Ask questions about people's emotional experiences and not just their physical ones. Emotional accomplishments, and accomplishments may be the wrong word, but at least emotional milestones, right?
Hmm.
Because a lot of times people ask, what do you do? What's your job? What was your last relationship like? But they don't ask about how do you express your emotions? Like, what are some telltale signs of when you're upset and when you need space to yourself? So, using this time, if we're going to be you know, again, prioritizing the emotional over the physical in this time where people are still, it's still not quite 100% safe, I would say,
Right.
to immediately pair up, then taking that emotional milestone inventory could be a tip for some folks, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, if you are choosing to prioritize the physical, which again, nothing's wrong with that, but including questions about symptoms of the Rona in the conversations around sexual health is also would be a tip, right, for folks.
Right.
And so, and so that means that people first need to educate themselves on what are the actual symptoms of the Rona.
Right.
Yeah, and warning signs. Yeah, and however, though, with that, there are some people who are asymptomatic with the Rona, so it's still not a 100%, um, bulletproof strategy, but it's better than nothing.
Right.
So that concludes part 1 of this week's conversation, Love in the Rona. Please, as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and share with others, and leave your comments below. Also, don't hesitate to write us at flyonthewallMH. Again, that's flyonthewallMH@gmail.com. And let us know what you think and any topics that you may want us to discuss. And until then, see ya.